Hi, my lovelies, and welcome to my birthday. I guess that's the best way to put it. Happy birthday to me. Like I said a week ago, I am turning 25, and this is the weirdest intro I've ever done. I don't know, I feel a little awkward. But like I promised, I did get what I feel enough questions. Only one person actually sent in questions, so I do want to thank Ryumoau. I'm so sorry if I butchered your screen name, but I do thank you for the questions you submitted to me. I realized that even if I did get a whole lot of questions, I probably wasn't going to answer every single one. So I felt that the questions that I were given were sufficient to create this video, which I really wanted to do regardless. So thank you again. I'll just call you Ryu, just because that is going to be simpler for me to pronounce correctly. So question number one from Ryu was, what was the first gaming console you ever played? The first gaming console I actually ever played was with my cousin Brendan. It was a Super Nintendo. I think it was an SNES or just an NES. I can't quite remember. All I do remember is that we played the Mike Tyson fighting game. It is what we call Punch-Out now, but that's what I do remember playing. Additionally from that, I also played PlayStation 1 a whole lot with my family. That is actually how I kind of got into gaming first. We went with the Sony route before I really got into Nintendo. So I would say Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1. Those were practically the first gaming consoles I ever actually played. Question number two is, what is your favorite video game franchise? And honestly, I would have to say this is a really, really, really difficult question for me. But ultimately, I would say the Legend of Zelda franchise. And I would say that just because sitting in my living room over here, I have The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for both GameCube, Wii, and the HD version on Wii U. So it made me think, you know what, I'm pretty sure that is my favorite video game franchise, because in total I've spent at least $150 or more just on Twilight Princess alone. So I think that would state in for itself that I love the Zelda series. In fact, if it wasn't for The Legend of Zelda, practically I would have never gotten a Wii U. I wasn't all that much interested into it, but they made my number one favorite video game as an HD remake, which is on the Wii U. So thanks to that, I bought a Wii U. Other words, I probably would have never gotten one, or maybe another game would have given me a reason to purchase one. Who knows? Question number three is, do you prefer Western or Japanese developed games? This one also is kind of tricky for me to answer, just because a lot of the games that I have played are Nintendo games, and since I do have a PS4, or I've had a PS4 now for roughly 2 years, which is kind of a weird thought to think, but regardless of that, I've played a lot of Nintendo games, which are Japanese developed games that are localized and brought over here to America through Nintendo of America. But I've been getting more and more into Western games, I guess, just through like indie games. Two games in like my top three favorites are actually Western developed games. My number one favorite is a Nintendo game, and that is clearly Japanese developed. But ultimately, to answer the question, since I realized I haven't answered the question yet, I would have to say Japanese developed video games. Just because I've been starting to get into different genres that are specifically mastered by Japanese video game developers, I guess I would say. So I've just have always loved Japanese developed video games. That would be my answer, and probably one of the most roundabout tangents I've ever had. Okay, question number 4 is, what other YouTubers do you like watching? And I actually have a very small list of YouTubers that I really actually like to watch. I really like watching Chugga Conroy. That is how I actually was introduced to Let's Playing in general. I found that he was making, at the time, he was almost done with his Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker Let's Play, and I love The Wind Waker. And so I was watching it and I thought he was hilarious, he was making me laugh, and I thought it was just so interesting that somebody pretty much was just talking about random stuff while playing a video game. That really, really, really interested me. And it was cool to be able to relate on a very weird level his love for video games and how much I loved video games. I was able to relate with him like that. Additionally, I really like watching the English Simmer. She does a lot of Sims videos, and I love playing The Sims. I grew up and I loved playing The Sims. It was so much fun. I've been playing The Sims since The Sims 2. And what I love about watching her videos is that she takes something so sandbox and makes it into these huge, bright, vibrant, colorful worlds, and you get so attached to these Sims that she makes. And it's completely revolutionized how I play The Sims now. Whether or not I actually plan to play a Sims series in the future is completely dependent upon to you guys, if it's something that you would like to see from me. But essentially, I love watching Chugga Conroy, the English Simmer. I really enjoy watching some of my YouTube buddies from the podcast that I have been on. So Drac2326, Shadowblazer 3000, and then their collaborative channel, Drac and Shadow. Also, I really like watching some of Aldo's stuff on Board Thresh. And I've been watching some of the stuff that Romney has put up on his Go Studio channel. And I'll try putting all this in the description below. You're going to have to forgive me if I forget anybody. Additionally, I'm trying to think of like other people that I really, really enjoy watching as well, but nobody's really coming to mind. And if I do think of anybody, then while I'm answering the next question, I guess you're all going to have to be distracted by whatever people I put right here at the bottom, because that's most likely the only way I'm going to be able to communicate it to you all. Okay, and then final question. This one's going to be a little bit longer to answer, which is why I saved it for last. So, Ryu, the reason why, what inspired me to start a YouTube channel was actually thanks to a really, really good friend of mine, Will. I met Will 2 years ago, and we just had that shared love for video games, and I really, really enjoyed playing it with him. Thanks to him, I was able to be acquainted with my second favorite all-time video game, and essentially how I got inspired to play video games for YouTube and start my YouTube channel was thanks to him. He was showing me some of the games that he had on his PS4, and I saw that he had downloaded Outlast when it was one of those free downloads for the PS4. And I told him, oh, I hear that's a really super scary game, and I had watched the Rad Brad play it. And by watched, I mean anytime I got to the scary parts, I would scroll down and just hear his reactions rather than getting terrified myself, since I hate the horror genre to no living end. So he said that he really wanted to play the game and didn't really know how to get through it, and I kind of know how to get from start to finish. So I ended up actually watching, without hiding away from the scary parts, all of Outlast, and also Outlast the Whistleblower, and it was single-handedly some of the worst moments of my life because that game is freaking terrifying. So by the end of it all, he was really encouraging me to do a YouTube channel because he felt that I had really sincere and genuine reactions to how I was reacting to his gameplay. And so I asked him if he wanted to do a YouTube channel with me, and we created the Gamers because we had a really good rapport. We played off of each other's banter. It was a lot of fun, and unfortunately, and this was in 2000, like right at the end of 2014, I got really sick, and I had to essentially stop doing YouTube because I did not have enough energy to do both YouTube and school and work just because of my illness, and it definitely was a bummer. But Will always encouraged me to keep doing a YouTube channel, and I also thank my family members, even my ex-boyfriend, and a lot of my old coworkers in my last job who also encouraged me to do a YouTube channel again. So in September of this past year, September 4th, 2015, I posted my first video on this channel, on my solo channel, because I got that huge encouragement to do it again. And now I am getting all your love and support. So that is how I was inspired to start a YouTube channel, because I have a great support system of loving friends and family who see my talent and want me to succeed. And thanks to you all who also have been with me these past 6-7 months since I've been back on YouTube, and I've been really enjoying it. Anyway, with that being said, those are all the questions that I was given, excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off here. I want to thank Ryu, or Ryumoau, however you say his screen name. I super apologize, man. But I just want to thank him again for all the questions that he's given me, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, as it does help me out. And if there's any other questions that you have for me, I'd be more than happy to answer them in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get this edited so you all can watch this a few hours from the moment that I have recorded it, and then I can go run off and do random birthday festivities. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Brinton. Catch me tomorrow for parts 10 of Yoshi's Woolly World, and I will see you all then. Bye!